Now these two phones have been out on the market for some time, and people have been asking the same question over and over again. Is it worth to upgrade from the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the iPhone 13 Pro Max? Or if you're coming from an older model of the iPhones, is it worth it to go to the iPhone 13 Pro Max? Well, let's find out. So the price is very identical based on the base models that they release every year. So last year the iPhone 12 Pro Max was retailing for $1099, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max also has the same price of $1099. So obviously the price is just the same. No wonder the iPhone 12 Pro Max was discontinued late last year. And jumping over to the colors, these two iPhones actually are identical because they all have the same four colors except from the blue that they decided to change a bit. So we are moving from Pacific Blue to Sierra Blue, which they pretty much decided just to change. I think it was just a way of trying to shake things up, but all in all the colors are the same. The blue is the blue, the black is the black. So most people I know will definitely buy an extra cover just after buying the phone. So really the color of the phone that you decide to get doesn't really matter at all. So now let's talk about the design real quick. Both phones actually feel almost the same, especially when it comes to the size and the shape, but definitely you can tell the difference with the weight. I mean, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a slight weight to it as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which basically tells you to say the difference is not really that much when it comes to physical appearance, but what is inside is actually what's making the big difference. So the screen is actually oily because the iPhone 12 Pro Max is my daily phone, and this is a brand new phone, the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So yeah, we'll see how it handles over the coming few days. We'll do some testing, but for now the design pretty much looks the same. So other than just looking at them from afar, when you actually put them side by side, you can actually tell that the iPhone 13 Pro Max seems to be slightly thicker than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I don't know if it's just me, but I can actually see a slight difference. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max has been designed in such a way that it can actually accommodate a slightly larger battery as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And speaking about the notch, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a smaller but deeper notch as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is wider, and I think we all know how the notch looks like. So since both of them are made out of stainless steel, the iPhone 13 Pro Max will definitely be durable just like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So we don't really expect much of a big difference. It's not like one is made out of plastic or anything. So on the design part, they are both identical, and we expect both of the phones to actually be as durable as they can be. So let's talk about the ProMotion that's in the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max has ProMotion, which supports 120 Hz as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which actually doesn't. So you expect smooth scrolling on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the performance of the display should be far much better as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So based on an average user, I would say this is one of the functions that most of us will not pay attention to, because we have not had any problem with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I don't remember the last time I was on the internet scrolling through the pages and seeing it lagging. So I mean, this is something that's good on paper, but in real life I think most of us will not pay much attention to it. So now let's talk about the battery. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a slightly larger battery as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I mean, that's a better bonus that you can get from a phone. It was very surprising that Apple actually went out their way just to increase the capacity of the battery in the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So if battery life is something that you're really interested in, I would definitely support the iPhone 13 Pro Max as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, no doubt about that. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max was rated to be around 8 to 12 hours of screen on time, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max has proven to last at least a good 2.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So that on its own is a huge advantage. I mean, personally, that would be something that would make me want to change from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Let's talk specs. When it comes to the specs, not a lot of people are really going to enjoy or really understand what's really happening. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max actually had good specs on its own, and it never actually showed any problems in terms of usage. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max, we just expect it to be slightly better, but the performance should just be like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 14 Bionic chip with a 6GB RAM, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max has the latest A15 Bionic chip with 6GB RAM. So now for an average user, that really doesn't say much. I mean, so if you are the type of person who uses your phone as just a normal device to just make your calls, send your texts, and browse the web, you really won't pay much attention to the chips and the difference, and I really don't think you're really going to notice any difference. Let's jump over to the cameras. Now the cameras are one interesting area that most people are really going to enjoy about their iPhones. Already the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a really good camera, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max takes that experience to the next level. And this is one of the differences that you can actually see between the two phones looking at the sizes of the cameras. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a slightly larger camera as compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Speaking of cameras, the iPhone 13 Pro Max actually has cinematic mode, so everyone was excited about it. Well, I mean, not everyone. I actually don't know many people who are actually going to use the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, including myself. Like, this is not something that I look forward to using, but it is good to know that it is actually there in case you may want to use it. So basically, these are the few differences that exist between the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I mean, there's not really much to talk about, especially when it comes to the physical things that we can actually see, but for this upgrade, I feel like Apple really concentrated on the insides of the phones as compared to the physical appearance. Maybe this year we might see a few differences in terms of the iPhone 14, but I would like to think we are going to stick to this design and this shape for a couple more years. So now let's try to answer the two questions that we have today. Should you buy the iPhone 12 Pro Max or the iPhone 13 Pro Max? And is it wise enough to upgrade from the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the iPhone 13 Pro Max? So I would like to answer this in a very simple way. If you're talking about specs and what's inside, I would guess, yeah, that's something that you can consider if that's what you're following. But for an average user who definitely uses a phone just for communication purposes, I really don't see the point of upgrading if you are coming from the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But if you're coming from the older models, I would say go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I mean, for the same price, the best model, which is 128GB, this is just definitely a way to go. I mean, why would you buy the iPhone 12 Pro Max when for the same price you can actually buy the iPhone 13 Pro Max? So I'm actually looking forward to the iPhone 14 lineup, so I will not basically be upgrading from my iPhone 12 Pro Max to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but I'll test it out and just see how good of a phone this really is. So yeah, so there we have it. The decision has been made. So let me know down in the comment section which phone you'll be buying and if you'll be upgrading from your iPhone 12 to your iPhone 13. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel because more content like this will be coming your way. I will see you in the next video. Peace.